So, we are set. We can go speak to the Emperor now that AHS-9 is deceased. Can we talk to the doctor out here now, too? Yes, we can. I need stim packs. Please. Have stim packs. You only have 6. Well, it's a start. Thank you. Do you have anything else? No. Thank you for the stim packs. Have a laser pistol. I have many to sell. Okay. To the She. I don't know if there's anywhere else. Maybe the general goods store to get more stim packs. I may want to check there too. Even though I did have a nice little shopping spree while I was here earlier. I forgot that stim packs are very important and I should have a lot of those. But that is neither here nor there currently. And we are now about to meet the Emperor. Ken says, with the death of AHS-9, the great and terrible, the Hybologists pose no real threat to us and our researchers. Well done. You have our gratitude. Would you like to speak to the Emperor? Yes, he replies. You have proven yourself to be a friend of the She. I believe I can trust you with our secrets. In the back room, you will find the force field to the large computer has been turned off. Enter the password, this password, that's a long password, and you will find yourself connected to the Emperor computer. I hope this will prove useful to you. The Emperor is a computer? Ken says yes. It stores our history, our research, and projects' possibilities for the future. It is far better than any fallible human, yet we temper its suggestions with our own knowledge of human nature. I see. Well, thanks for your time. I have a village to rescue. And we leveled up. And, oh my goodness, we have another perk. I don't think there's really anything else that I would want besides, because more criticals isn't going to matter. Mutate? Mutate could be fun. I could switch one trait to another if I wanted. But I think, oh, quick pockets is an option too. Instead of quick pockets though, I am instead going to pick Action Boy 2. So in total, we now have 12 AP to work with, as well as 4 movement AP. So that's a lot. I think my character is peak Caedo punchy gentle fellow at this point. Mr. Fistopheles, that's what I should have named my character, honestly. So I was doing a little playing around with Oblivion a little bit, and I started an unarmed style character, or a hand-to-hand character. Named him Mr. Fistopheles, because I think that's a great name. Okay, I guess let's meet the supercomputer. That's what we're all here for, right? Hello, supercomputer. Nice to meet you. It says, greetings, please enter your password to confirm your identity. This one. Identity confirmed. Geolocation? It says, what do you wish to locate? I don't need to locate anything anymore. I found pretty much everything on the map. Diagnostics. Diagnostic functions. Network scan. The Emperor replies, biology station, inactive. Chemistry station, active. Physics station, inactive. Activate. Access chemistry station. Chemistry database. Fuel and derivatives. Polymers. I guess that's a list. Polymers? It says, once you have waded through the symbology and technical discussion, you discover that the She are working on a new type of polymeric combat armor that is resistant to both flame and penetration. It is still years from completion. You also see mention of new weaponry and construction capabilities. Apparently the She have some plans for the future. Okay. Fuel and derivatives. After sifting through the complex medical formulae and lab notes, you come to the conclusion that the She have created a kind of fuel from plant extracts and sea life. Apparently, they have hooked into previously existing pipelines so they can transport fuel to a wide variety of destinations. Okay. Which we already stole. We already stole the fuel. So, let's go to database. Chemistry. Nope, we've already done that. Forecasting. Input indicates enclave more powerful than previously believed. Do not approach. More. Tanker vagrants, 0% likely to clear creature infestation without outside assistance. Processing desirability of providing assistance. Okay. The Hybologist space launch is 95% likely to fail. Factors: no fuel, improper sealant, poor leadership, lack of initiative. Chances of a submarine reappearing in this game, 0%. 50% chance of designated chosen one succeeding in task. Okay. Well, That's all I need to know. A little disappointing for how much information we already had on hand. We didn't need to help the She at all to beat the game. But that means they're going to have some end slides in their favor now. So I'm going to try to talk to this She-Man with a scowl on his face now that I've helped the She. He says, what do you want? What do you do here? He says, I create compounds and devices for the Emperor and for the Emperor's advisor, Ken Lee. Currently, I'm working on fuel derivatives and polymers that will withstand massive attack. Of course, this is no interest of you, since it is, for the most part, theoretical. Not yet, it's not, but I'll be back. Okay. Well, at least he told me what he was working on. I think, I can't remember if we actually found out what he was working on, or he was just like, no, it's too complex for you. And I was like, well, I'm gonna come back when it's not too complex for my brain. So, yeah, I guess we can clear out the tanker and get that all set and ready to prep the launch of it. But first, I'm gonna check and see if we can get more stim packs. Okay, stim packs and some psycho. Why not? The psycho will be beneficial later. That's for sure. Okay. And let's grab the stuff we need out of the trunk of the car. I believe there's a couple of bits and pieces in here that we need in order to repair the tanker. So, okay. And I grabbed the 8-ball because we haven't used it in a while. Let's divine the magic 8-ball a few times. There's an Easter egg somewhere in New Reno. Oh, nice. Fergus was against putting me in the game. He's a big meanie. There's an Easter egg, okay. The code to activate the first terminal in the vault in Vault City is 3PCF186. Okay. Interesting. It just gave me the code. Don't count on it. Okay. I'm gonna keep rolling until I find the progress of the game that we're through. Well, I made a mistake and threw the 8-ball on the ground, and it's behind my car. So we'll pretend that I just lost it forever. I was actually hoping that it would tell me the progress of my game, because it does tell you game progress if you roll it and it gets lucky. But it did tell me a few other things, like speaking to Father Tully after I beat the game and stuff like that. So we got the parts though that we need. So I'm gonna walk out of town real quick, and we'll go back into town, but go to the tanker. And it's just a faster way to get here. Pro tip. So then we'll go and talk to the ship's captain and see what kind of things we need to do to get this tanker going. And if we can help any further. How about that? The captain says, good to see you again. What do you need? I hear you're the one who knows all about the ship. He says, the ship's a Poseidon tanker. It's equipped with tech that lasts through the war. It's got a fob that allows access to the navigation computer room, and it's got an IFF transponder that protects it from Poseidon guns. How do you get it to go? The captain says, how do you pilot this rig? Well, I see you've already gassed her up. When you've taken care of everything else, just press the button. The computer will take care of the rest if it's still working. It'll sail right out to the oil rig, and they won't fire at you because you've got the IFF transponder. Just make sure you've got what you need to access everything. Fob, working computer, and fuel. Easy enough, huh? Yes. Bye. Okay. So he told me, and the rest of us, those of you paying close attention to the things that we needed for the tanker, the rest of the things that we need to do. So we have the navcom parts, which I believe we got from Vault 13. We have the fob over here. I'm just going to drop it into the top of my inventory so you know what's up. And yeah, so we need to get down into the cargo hold, clear it out, access the room with the fob in the back, and then put the navcom parts in that room. I hope we're all clear on the objective here. But there are some beasties down below that we need to take care of as well, which are attacking me immediately. Now we have some fisticuffs intervention to do when it comes to helping the people of the tanker. And I punched this tough alien in the groin socket for 39 hit points, smearing some of its slime off. That's still pretty gross. Still pretty gross that it leaves slime on my fist. So I will continue to punch it until it is dead. So it is dead now. We've got quite a few more aliens and some centaurs and some floaters to all deal with, and they're all after me now. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a fight. This is gonna be a fight, that's for sure. Gonna blast you into ground round. As you should, Cassidy. As you should. Sulik, what are you doing? I'm still confused as to what you're doing. Seems like Sulik suddenly decided to switch back to the hammer, even though I gave him a perfectly good ripper to rip into enemies with. So he's my wild card right now. I think, yeah, the centaurs, groin shots just don't seem to do anything. Maybe because I just can't find the groin because of the amount of legs this thing has. And the amount of heads and other appendages that it has. Like, you just can't tell where the groin would be located without some sort of degree in FEV biology. Virology? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what kind of science you would need. Something enclavey. To, or maybe even institutey. Institutey. That's a funny way to put it. But so far so good. I don't think I healed before we came down here, but we are utterly destroying these enemies anyway. I'm so happy about this. I'm glad I geared out my team before I came down here, because we're gonna get so much experience after this. Not that we need it. Like, we don't need to really level up that much more. Like, we could have done the Enclave stuff at the main base ages ago, but I did decide to draw this playthrough out to the point to where I've done most of the quests in the game, the majority of the quests in the game, as well as leveled up to extreme amounts to be able to punch things and crit every single time. Because I really enjoyed doing that. Why can't I? Oh, I'm out of ammo. Whoops. I'm gonna move. Here we go. Give you less attacks. I'm just taking no damage from them now. Unless they crit, maybe. We got a comment from Ariel Paz with a mod suggestion, saying if someone is into mods, there are a couple of really good classic Fallout weapons mods for New Vegas. The M72 and the Power Fist included. Also, talking about groin, here's a question. Aren't you hit hard in the groin by all the people out there making a religion out of the Enclave? I know the question may be detrimental for potential viewers, but man, I'm fed up with those cultists. I don't think there's a large majority of people that kind of obsess over a faction that way. It's just some of the ones that like to take role-playing maybe to the next level. And I personally am not super into it too. The only time where it gets to like being obnoxious or a real punch to the groin for me is when people use it to justify just generally being a horrible human being to other people. If that's the turn that the obsession with these notoriously bad factions takes, then I start being like, okay, can you please like take it down a notch, or like explain like if you're just talking about like lore or actual real life hypothetical, because once it hits that latter side, then there might be a problem with the person that you're interacting with. But that's really all I'll say about it. This can be a deep topic. Thanks for the comment, Ariel. That took a while, like a full day or so. So now we go back in. Let's do this fight. Yeah, get the rest of these floaters. So we have, let me hit the combat thing so I can see what we're doing here. There's a lady back here. A one with a worried expression on her face, rightfully so. I know she's connected to, I think, Badger upstairs. But I don't think anybody mentions her, which is very strange. Like, I wonder where this lady went. Gee whiz, last time I saw her, she was looking down the stairs to the cargo bay. But now, yeah. Fight me. Look at me. Fight me. Yeah, there we go. The ovipositor. You are down for the count. I'm gonna hit this one too. Just cause. Just cause I wanted to knock them all out. Oh, lovely. Lovely damage. Head meet ass, says Marcus. Come to us now, man, says Sulik. Well, they finally got a critical hit on me, so I'm on the floor. But fortunately, that critical hit only hit for 2 hit points. So I'm still at 164 HP. I was hit for no damage. No damage. And no damage. They might be doing radiation damage to me, though. That's something always to keep in mind as well. But radiation is not as much of a threat in this game as the first one. Or in this game as the rest of the newer Fallout games. Because in Fallout 3, like, one of the very first things you do for the Wasteland Survival Guide from Moira is heavily irradiate yourself. Or among the choices that you have of quests to do. And irradiated as much as you can without burning a hole in the floor, I think is one of the replies you can give to Moira if you do go the extra mile for her. But in the earlier games, like, it would take a lot. At least in Fallout 1, like, you had the glow, which was an optional location, but had some of the best loot in it. But if you didn't go there and take Rad-X prior to going into the glow, you could just die after taking so much radiation poisoning, or having so much radiation poisoning, to the point to where it's very frustrating for newer players, which is probably why they backed off of it a little bit in Fallout 2, because how radiation kind of worked in the first Fallout game was, and in this one too, I believe, is that you still take like really high doses of radiation when you go into the glow, but you don't start really feeling its effects until several hours afterwards. So, almost very similarly to real life, like, once you know that you've taken on so much radiation, it takes a few hours or a couple of days even to take full effect, to show effects and kick off that severe pain of your cells just dying. So in Fallout 1, if you don't go to the glow prepared, you can go to the glow, do what you need to do, then leave, and then as you're traveling, you could just outright die. Because there's this other check that the game doesn't really tell you, and that's that radiation poisoning does reduce your attributes as well. And once one of your attributes hits 0, that's when it will kill you. So it's very cool, but also underexplained because this is probably like listed in the manual that the game comes with. Thanks for shooting me, Marcus. I appreciate that. But otherwise, the game itself doesn't really tell you, unless you have a Geiger counter on you to check radiation levels and like scan yourself and stuff like that, just to make sure you're not taking on too much radiation at a time. But I was refreshed on that recently and being like, okay, so there is ways around, like, not taking on, or taking on like deadly amounts of radiation and still being able to survive. And one of those ways is by using not mentats, buff out, to raise your endurance, to basically combat that reduction to your endurance. So just to prevent that lethal level of radiation from killing you outright, which is kind of cool, but again, is underexplained in the game itself. Which is why I do appreciate Bethesda's take on radiation. I love seeing that alien explode, because it is better explained and better shown in the Pip-Boy, like what radiation can do, and like you can look at the status of your character too and see like the effects of said radiation. Whereas Fallout 4, I think it's even better that it reduces your maximum health. And, you know, taking on so much radiation can still outright kill you, but there is still the threat of, you know, you're not at full par, because you have reduced your max health. Unless you're running like a bloodied something or other, you know, Fallout 76 meta, stuff like that. That was a fun rant while we were destroying all of the hostiles in the cargo bay. Which radiation system do you like the most out of the Fallout games that you've played? That's a good spot to end that discussion. So we're gonna talk to this lady. She asks to save her, please. So we are going to do that. We are going to save her and take her upstairs to the spot with the rest of the... Yeah, thanks for all your help. I'm going to find Badger. A special thanks to those supporting me on Patreon, including Wasteland Legends, Sven, and David Hoover. You can catch future episodes of this playthrough on Wednesdays and Fridays, noon and 10 a.m. Pacific. Thanks so very much for watching. I'm Caedo Genesis, and may you wander the wasteland like you own it.